Hello. Wow. So excited to have you on. And we start with a spam call. Why not? These women are amazing, and I aspire to be like them. I want what they're having. They're all super fit, and they have wisdom to give us that will explain how you can be your best self in 2023. So let's just give their their credentials for a second. We've got on behind door number one, we've got Beth Shaw, who is the author of many bestsellers, including Healing Trauma with Yoga and Beth Shaw's Yoga Fit, the best-selling program for a more powerful, flexible, and defined physique. We have Dr. Shabnam Islam, who is a judge on the fabulous show Peeled, the first all-vegan cast cooking competition show streaming on Unchained TV. And we have the amazing Cherie Johnson, who is the star of Plant-Based in the Burbs with Paige Parsons Roach, and also the founder of an incredible casual wear, active wear company. So I want to start with Dr. Islam. You actually took the course of Beth Shaw, but why is it that so many people are out of shape? So many people are getting sick. Our longevity in this country is going down for the first time in a long time. You know, we've got a problem and nobody's talking about it.
I agree. I think it's the ease of accessibility these days. For anything to work takes work, and you have to be active, you have to eat well, you have to be thoughtful in your actions. And now when we have access to so many things that are easy things to eat, easy things to do, little cuts and pills and everything that you do to get to where you need to be, this is becoming seemingly problematic, when really the ultimate result, the easiest way to get there, is to just do the work, to eat well and to exercise.
And you have a show that helps us do that. I want to show everybody a show that I'm very proud of being associated with that is streaming on Unchained TV. It is Peeled.
Peeled, right. The world's first and only 100% vegan cooking competition show. 4 of the world's top vegan chefs endure 3 rounds of brutal challenges as their culinary limits are tested.
3, 2, 1.
Our panel of celebrity vegan judges don't hold back.
The bar is going to be extremely high for me.
Who will snatch the coveted title of hottest vegan chef? Find out on Peeled.
And the reason you are a judge is that you have the authority to judge because you are so darn fit.
I was not a judge. I was actually the spokesperson, the host of the show.
The host of the show, yes. Well, you were in charge in some way, shape, or form. But that's because you have, you can't give away what you don't have, Shabnam.
That's true. And I think the experience comes from educating people in the field of health, and veganism is a huge part of that. And I feel very lucky to be part of a project that really highlights vegans across the gambit, from judges to hosts to our cast, to our crew, to even our craft services. We're trying to show people that this is a way that you can combat major health disparities and ailments with a proper plant-based diet, and the ease of it is there. You don't have to give up anything to eat vegan, to eat plant-based, and to really still enjoy your food, and to still get all the health benefits of it. So I was really excited to be a part of that project.
And I want to go to Beth Shaw because, Beth, here's another problem. People are depressed. And I was just so inspired to see, I know you are a best-selling author, and I know you are the founder of Yoga Fit, which Dr. Shabnam Islam studied under, but also you did this book, Healing Trauma Through Yoga. We know that your gut biome determines your serotonin levels, which in turn determine your mood to a large degree. There's something happening in America. I don't know whether it's the junk food, the fast food, but there's so much depression. And a lot of it could be really connected to diet and lifestyle.
Oh, most definitely, Jane. You know, it's what we're consuming on every level. Obviously, consuming factory farm meats and processed food and things in a package leads to a lot of dis-ease. Additionally, consuming, conventional news media that's always telling us to be afraid of something is leading to more depression and dis-ease. People are sitting for hours and hours. They're watching, too much Netflix and being on social media. They're just not moving their bodies. And quite frankly, I think we've lost the consciousness and the discipline that it really takes to maintain a healthy, fit body. And consciousness also goes into eating a plant-based diet. And we have a crisis of consciousness right now in the United States.
Well, I want to introduce one of the most inspiring people in my life personally, because she's always, it seems, in a great mood, totally fit, and a fabulous chef. And Cherie Johnson is the co-star of Plant-Based in the Burbs. Let's check that out and then talk to her about her secret.
It looks like salmon. It tastes like salmon, but let me tell you, it's plant-based, y'all. Plant-based in the burbs, plant-based in the burbs. Boom, boom, boom. Plant-based in the burbs, plant-based in the burbs.
I happen to be there videotaping you making that tofu salmon with Paige Parsons Roach, your co-star of Plant-Based in the Burbs. And you cook comfort food that is traditional comfort food, but you make it healthy, and then you add on the exercise regime. What is your secret formula, Cherie?
You know what? I think my secret formula is I want longevity. And in order to sustain a healthy life, just like doctor said, we need to put in the work. So if you have a balanced lifestyle, that incorporating food, I'm vegan, of course, so that's my lifestyle. And I tell everyone, even my clients, if you can just move your body for at least 30 minutes a day, you can create a habit. And so, and as one of the doctors said earlier, is that, there's no quick fix, because even if you do the quick fix, you still have to maintain that. So you still have to put in the work. So that's just what it's about. You got to put in the work to get what you want,
We've got a caller, Nilafar from Dallas, Texas. Your question or thought for our amazing team. And again, I want what they're having. Go ahead, Nilafar.
Hi, can you be a junk food vegan and hooked on high fat, high salt, high sugar, packaged comfort food and still be healthy? Thanks.
Wow, what a great question. Shabnam, I see you nodding, and then we'll go to Cherie.
Listen, it's about the intake. How many processed sugars are you taking in? How much fat, saturated fat, is in the product? All of these parameters have an impact on our metabolic panel, how we process food, on our insulin sensitivity. So whether it's plant-based or meat-based can still have that adverse effect on your blood glucose or on your lipid panel. So our goal is to start encouraging people to eat more whole food-based foods, right? If you still want to have your junk every now and then, that's fine. I would much rather you supplement with a Monty's Good Burger than, say, with a Burger King Real Burger, right? Because we do know that intake of meat can have various impacts on inflammation, on your endothelial lining, how we actually process foods into the metabolic system. So can you eat vegan poorly? Absolutely. Does it have a detrimental effect on your system? Absolutely. Too many calories in, not enough calories out will lead to excess weight gain, right? So it's finding that natural balance, and that's our hope.
All right. Well, I want to get to Cherie, but first we got another caller, Adam in Texas. Your question or thought for our panel? Oh, Adam. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm using my cell phone.
What's your
I
question?
just wanted to make a comment. Like people talk about, having this goodwill during the holidays, doing everything towards all mankind. Why not include animals that are defenseless? And, I think most people recognize that they're doing something wrong, but that's when they'll take the defensive stance and be like, well, you're doing something bad too. Let me think about it for a second, So I just I want people to really like start thinking about what they're doing, not just for themselves but for others during the holidays.
Thank you so much. That is a really good point.
Right.
And there is so much people talking about how spiritual they are, but if they're supporting an industry that's torturing animals, there's a conflict there. It's obvious. And a lot of times people think, it was somebody far smarter than me that said the essence of all suffering, the essence of all evil is that some suffering doesn't count. And that's where we are with factory farmed animals today in our society. But things are changing. Cherie, I want to go to you because the question from Nilafar in Texas was really good. It's like, yeah, people say it's a catch-22. So when veganism first started taking off, a lot of people said, what do you eat? Grass? We know that's the cliche question. So then, let's make all these things that they like to eat to show them, no, you can have your burgers and your hot dogs and your this, we can make them all plant-based. Then they say, well, wait a second, that's processed. They're trying to put this movement in a no-win situation. But you found a way around that because you make actually healthy comfort food.
Yeah, the thing is about the comment about the unhealthy vegan, there are many of those people walking around. And generally that happens when you first transition to becoming plant-based or vegan. You kind of grab to things that you're used to, like the alternative meats and some of the processed products that are quick and fast, because we are still living in that quick and fast society. And eventually, I was there too. But as you start to progress through your journey, you have to think of things that are going to be more healthy and more nutritious to your body. And so for me, I did a lot of Googling, a lot of researching, and I wanted to eat, as Doctor said, a whole food plant-based diet, which is really accessible to anyone because you can buy that in the grocery store. You can buy your vegetables in the grocery store. You can buy legumes in the grocery store. It's not a lot of money. It's just that, again, you have to put in the work if you want to have healthy food. You just cannot do a drive-through to get it. So, and a lot of people don't want to do that. They find that veganism or cooking this type of way is very time consuming. So for me, I just want to eat healthy, and people have to make the choice. We have different ways that you can get great nutrition food and slowly move the junk food out, and then have your days when you want to have that Monty Good burger, or you want to make a Beyond Meat burger or whatever. You can do those. It's not saying eliminate it, but again, like the doctor mentioned, you have to worry about salt intake. Most things are in packages are high in sodium, which makes you retain water, makes you gain weight, increases your blood pressure. So now that's how you have high blood pressure. You have to look at the sugar content. You don't want anything over a certain milligrams of sugar in your food because that's not healthy for you too. We already have a large population that are pre-diabetic. So things that we're consuming is changing our health. So we have to really be aware, flip the package over and read it.
I guess that this has hit a nerve because we've got so many callers lined up. Okay, Lauren in Illinois, your question or thought?
Absolutely. Thanks for taking my call. So I have two questions. I believe they are related, actually. So in addition to the trope about, we just eat grass, we often hear, how do you get your protein? I think people think vegans are going to be wasting away because we don't get our protein. But I'd like to hear what are some whole food, plant-based sources of protein. And then related question, as we age, particularly women, how should we be modifying our diet to keep up our energy, vitality, and help as we transition through the different periods such as menopause and perimenopause prior to that?
You need a show, my dear. Thank you so much for those great questions. Beth Shaw, take it away.
Well, I'm happy to address this. I wrote a book called Yoga Lean that is a vegan book, and we advocate for supplementing with amino acids a couple times a day. That will help keep lean protein if you are, really concerned about keeping your muscle. And muscle is an organ, so the more of it we have as we get older, the better we will age and stay vibrant. When it comes to menopause, making sure that you have enough oils in your diet, very important, getting blood work and panels every 3 months because hormone levels can change in an instant. And also doing yoga, meditation, breathing exercises, and things for mindfulness so that you can observe yourself going through changes without any judgment or expectation is super helpful.
Wow, that was a very, we've got some experts here today. I just want to say that I was in the grocery store the other day and I saw this very elegant couple and everybody's lined up with all sorts of boxes of packaged goods. And there was this one couple and they would put out the vegetables as they were checking out. And they had carrots and they had broccoli and they had things and they laid them out very nicely. I thought, oh, I wonder if they're vegans, like vegan social media influencers. No, when they spoke, they were French. Like, this is what people do. It's not that difficult to buy some actual vegetables. We don't have to have everything in a carton. Let's go. I just got to keep going to these calls because there are so many of them. We've got the next caller, Lindsay in Los Angeles. Your question or thought for our expert panel on health. Lindsay.
Yes. Wow. This is an amazing. This is an amazing group here. I'm really, really interested in this because I personally, like so many of us, going through so much stress right now. And I really rely on my vegan diet to get me through. The thing that people need to learn is that eating vegan food is not expensive if you make it yourself. And watching a show like Plant-Based in the Burbs, you get to learn all these wonderful recipes that are not really that difficult. There's a few extra steps, but you're saving money. You really are. And it's much healthier. So I'm so glad you folks are doing this today because we really need you. So thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay. And I just want to say, Dr. Islam, and you proved this with your show Peeled, this whole trope that vegan food is so expensive is a lie. You could get a sack of potatoes and a sack of brown rice and a sack of black beans and live off that for 2 months.
I'll tell you this, the 99-cent store is my best friend. It is my best friend. And I want to actually go back to that first comment about protein origination, because there's this common misconception that protein origination occurs in the muscle cell, right? But it actually occurs in plants, much like B12, which is created in the bacteria from soil. But animal sources are considered your middlemen, right? Where are your middlemen getting their protein from? They're getting it from plants. And as Beth was saying, that when we're talking about protein, we're talking about this being formed by amino acids, 20 in all, 9 essential, 11 non-essential, and the 9 essential being, phenylalanine, valine, threonine, tryptophan, methionine, leucine, isoleucine, lysine, and histidine. And all of these things we obtain from our diet. And so we can obtain all of these varying amounts from fruits and vegetables, all of them. All of these plant sources provide non-hemi iron without the risks, but the absorption's a little bit more difficult, which is why we say having a variety of veggies, the dark leafy greens, fortified cereals of rice and grains, raisins, apricots, lentils, and soybeans would be a great addition to anybody's diet that wants to see a comprehensive approach to their protein consumption.
I am super impressed by all those big words.
I got it.
I've already burned some vegetables today. Okay. I just want to say I was making edamame, a potato left over, and some Brussels sprouts, and I burned them all.
There you go.
Morning. I'm way ahead of everybody. Okay, we got another caller, Paige Parsons Roach, who is the co-star of Plant-Based in the Burbs. Your question or thought?
Okay, let me just catch my breath. That cracked me up, Jane, about already burning. Hi, yes. Okay, so here's the burning question for me is I'm always hearing from family members, friends, that I drink a hymns of milk. I eat backyard eggs. And here's my question, because I've been learning from the experts around here, is that both of those are not healthy for our bodies. And then obviously there's the extra, because I've learned a lot about animal rights and, what the mothers go through and what the chickens go through. So I just wanted to take it over, put it over to the experts here and talk about a hymns of milk and, these kindly raised backyard chicken eggs and so forth. So over to you. Oh, thank you so much.
Okay.
I love it. I love this question. I love it, Paige. Thank you so much. Yeah. Because we do say that animal sources have complete proteins. They contain all essential amino acids, but what they also have is hem iron or hemi-iron. It's an essential nutrient from dietary proteins. And high hem intake is actually associated with a variety of cancers, increased risk of type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease, and these particular amines, like heterocyclic amine, nitrosamines, they corrode our cardiovascular system. Mm-hmm. And we don't have this kind of not a hemi-iron in plant-based sources. We have a non-hem iron in plant-based sources, which means that it doesn't have this kind of inflammatory effect when we consume them. So.
I want to bring in the exercise component because I've struggled with this myself. There's a phrase, couch potato, and I think I fall in that category. That's vegan, right? Couch potato. But Beth Shaw, you are the one who, no matter what, gets up and gets on your head and does a headstand and does all sorts of yoga poses that blow my mind. Whereas a lot of times I look out and I go, oh, it's cold. And it's very hard for me to get out there and do that stuff. And of course, the pandemic gave me a great excuse.
Right.
I mean, there's many things that you can do at home. The good thing about yoga is you could do it in prison if you were locked up. You can do it just saying, if anybody finds themselves there, you can do yoga everywhere. You can exercise at home. You can go out for a walk. The key is to keep in motion. These bodies were not meant to sit for 8-10 hours a day, either behind a screen or behind the TV screen. So we need to be moving our bodies every single day. Get an exercise bike for your home. But whatever you do it. Move your body daily.
But I want to ask you specifically, do you ever have those moments where you're just in inertia? Mm-hmm. And it's like, I got to do this. Let me throw it to Cherie. Like, how do you break through that to, like, I've got these weights. I dust them every so often. I come up with the duster and I go, I'll pick them up in 5 minutes.
Well, Jane, I mean, we all have our struggles when it comes to exercising. We do have our days. But for me personally, it is imperative for me to work out because it's good for my mental health. And what people really don't understand that, yes, you are working your body, but you're also getting those endorphins elevated so that it clears your mind and gives you happy thoughts and happy energy, and it makes you elevates your mood. So that for me is what makes me moving every day, is to be in a happy mood. Exercise is my jam. That's what I like to do. And yes, I have bad days. Mm-hmm. We all have bad days, but you can do anything. Like she said, Yoga Fit said earlier, sorry, when I'm ramble, I go on, but you can work out in your home. You need no equipment. Your body is made to be in motion, and you can use your body to do whatever you need to do to exercise. Even if you want to just go for a walk, you can walk around your house if it's too cold to go outside. There really is no excuses, because you have to determine what body and what health you want to be in. So for me, I want to be healthy as much as possible.
And Tom says it's 16 degrees in Chicago.
Okay. Tom can work out in his house. He has a heater.
Well, I have to say, and not to get too personal, but I clean my own house. I started doing it a long time ago, and I actually consider it exercise because I am absolutely moving around, and I realize it's a great opportunity for me, whether I'm vacuuming or whatever. I have a tendency to process ideas, thoughts, it's just like let your mind wander, tackle issues and challenges. And then I realize I'm getting a lot of exercise. So that's my excuse. Okay. That's what I do so far.
It's not an excuse. It's an approach. It's an approach. And that's the one thing we have to remind people is that any bit of movement is positive. It moves you in the right direction, right? Whether it be gardening or cleaning your house, because I have to be honest, when I clean my house, it takes hours, and it's hours of consistent work. Though low level, it is consistent over a prolonged period of time. And that level of effort is caloric expenditure. It is low intensity, and it does have an effect on insulin sensitivity. And what we realize, particularly with people that are living with type 2 diabetes, is that you don't have to go hard to see effects. You just need to move low to moderate intensity. Exercise, doing your household chores counts. So
yeah. I think maybe we've made this sort of impression of what exercise looks like, and it's got to be some fancy bike that you've spent a lot of money on, or now people have these mirrors. A couple of my friends have mirrors where they exercise into the mirror. It sounds like an avant-garde, like French indie film to me, but apparently it's happening. But what you're saying, Beth, is that it can just be something where you have a mat on the floor and that's it, correct?
That's it. That's all you need. And we run many online groups through yogafit.com, weight management groups, weight loss groups that extend out for weeks. People get together, they do classes, they have lecture, we educate people. It's great.
That sounds good.
Just move.
Well, I need this inspiration personally. That's why I've brought you all here today, to inspire me to work out. But I know that there's a lot of people. Obviously, look, 2/3 of Americans are overweight or obese. This is a fact. Okay. So virtually everybody needs this information. So we just have to figure out what is sustainable, because sometimes people try to do too much and then they give up. Right. So when we're going to take a short break here on Voice America Radio, but we're going to stay live on Facebook and on Unchained TV, on all sorts of platforms that we're on, including Twitter, including YouTube, and of course our Unchained TV app, which we urge you to sign up for. Basically, you just put Unchained TV in your phone or tablet. App Store, it'll come right up. Hundreds and hundreds of videos, including Plant-Based in the Burbs and a lot of other cooking shows that show you how to eat healthy and plant-based, plus people who have lost enormous amounts of weight on a plant-based diet. For example, we have Chef AJ, who lost 50 pounds eating potatoes. You can find out her story on Unchained TV. So let's take a short break here on Voice America Radio. When we come back, what is the exercise regime, the daily regime of each of these three women? We're going to find out on the other side. All right. So we're still live on our other panels, but I do want to get everybody's exercise regime, because I think that, you know, the devil is in the details. People can talk about all sorts of plans, but it's almost like, what do you eat every day? What do you do every day for exercise? And that, I think, would really give people an inspiration. Meanwhile, Cherie, tell us about your company that you started.
Okay. Well, yes, I started a company, W29, a while back. And we're just going to re-release in January. And right now I'm doing yoga pants or leggings and bra. That's what we have right now. And it's something that's been created for me personally, because being a personal trainer, I wanted to have something good quality workout gear, because I wear it every single day. And I'm sure Dr. and Beth can understand that you want something that's going to stand up and go through washing. So I got it done here. I created it here in Los Angeles. It's being cut and sewn here in Los Angeles. And it's just an amazing product. I have pockets on the side. It's just fabulous. And I was inspired to start this because of, one, I wear the workout gear every day, but also the story of W29 is why it's named that. It was named after my mother, who died at a young age of an aneurysm. And in order for me to kind of like just pay homage to her, I named it after W, as her first name was Wanda. The age she passed away was 29, and that's how we came up with W29 activewear. So it really is something really dear and deep to me. So that's why I'm still moving with this product, but it's fabulous. It's a great quality product.
And it's important because the lifestyle is today more of an active wear lifestyle. I personally, since the pandemic began, have been living in leggings.
Yes.
And I never even wore them before the pandemic. And now I haven't stepped in a pair of pants for a couple of years. I just wear leggings. I have different colors every day. Today is blue.
I got
another one. And so everybody is like this. I mean, this is something that's happening. We're seeing a cultural change toward casual wear across the board. And that's good because people are ditching the leather shoes and they're really going back to a really like exercise outfit lifestyle. We're going to come back to Voice America Radio in 30 seconds. So I'm going to add one other question for each of our incredible panelists. What do you eat every day? What do you do for exercise every day? And what do you wear every day when you're not naked? Okay. Because I think we've all heard the jokes about people wearing a jacket from the waist up and walking around in their underwear because of the Zoom situation. Yeah. All right, let's come back to Voice America. Welcome back to Unchained TV on Voice America Radio. I'm Jane Velez Mitchell, and you are now re-entering a portal to a transformative way of living. All right, welcome back, fantastic panel. These women are, and I'm not in the category, they are workout fiends, they are optimally healthy, they are fit, and they are also eating a healthy, plant-based lifestyle. Let's talk a little bit about what each person does for workout every day, because it's easy to say, do this, do that, get a bike, but I want to hear it from these folks themselves. Okay, what's your workout regimen? Best Shaw of Yoga Fit.
Well, I have a rescue dog, so we spend a lot of time walking every day. And I weight train probably 4 times a week. I do some cardio here and there, maybe 2-3 times a week. I try to do 30 minutes of fasted cardio with my sauna suit on, old school.
What does that mean? I didn't get,
fasted cardio. I do intermittent fasting. So that means that I'm doing cardio in the morning on an empty stomach.
Oh God. That sounds difficult. That sounds difficult. So what about the yoga aspect?
Well, and of course I do yoga. I stand on my head every day with my red light in my face to improve mitochondrial production and also for anti-aging and mood boosting benefits. So I do stand on my head at least 10 minutes a day.
What? Okay. That was worth everything. Okay. This is the breaking news out of this broadcast. Beth Shaw stands on her head for 10 minutes every day. You've got to break that down for me because I don't understand what that does. And I'm not challenging and I'm just saying I want to learn.
It's anti-aging. There are proven mood lifting benefits from applying pressure to the top of your head upside down. I believe that it is very good for cognitive function. It's also great for jet lag and hangovers.
Wow. Okay. That is Beth Shaw. Who knew? Who knew? That's great. And I used to, when I was much younger, do headstands. Maybe I'll have to bring that back into the mix.
I will recommend 2 things. One, you can do the headstand up against the wall, so there's some support. And also they make some devices called like the body lift that will support your shoulders while you can go upside down to take the pressure off your cervical spine.
Wow. Okay. Excellent. Good to know. Dr. Shabnam Islam, your workout routine, my dear.
I feel like Beth just put me to shame there. You get like, I have to be honest. I think you see those Instagram fitness people that look like they are fresh out of a magazine, and I'm just not one of those. I love outdoor cycling. I love getting some vitamin D and some fresh air. We live in Southern California, so it's just a really good way for me to de-stress and get my cardiovascular training in. I like to do that anywhere between 3 and 4 days a week. Also strength training anywhere between 2 and 4 days a week. It depends on how how my week looks. It really truly does vary, but I think it is important to get in minimally 2 days a week to start seeing that threshold for change. And that's what we see in the science.
Wow.
In addition, every morning I wake up, first thing I do, hot cup of tea, sit outside, have access to non-filtered sunlight for at least 20 to 30 minutes to really just kind of get my dopamine levels in check. Don't access the internet or my phone. It's being present. And also, like Beth, I have a couple of rescue dogs, so I am literally walking minimally 2 hours a day.
Wow. Okay. I'm inspired. And so is Tom. He says, it doesn't matter how cold it is. I'm walking in Chicago later today. I
Yes,
want to
Tom.
just hit the pause button on Cherie because we do have 2 callers coming in. We're going to get to your workout routine though, Cherie, in a moment. But Annie, your question or thought for our incredible panel. I feel like racing out the door mid-broadcast and just walking. Go ahead.
I love them. I love them all. I love you, Jane. Incredible panel you have here. I am so motivated. Now I want to go out and walk too, since we have a little bit of sun right now, since we had to change of weather. But what I want to say is that what has been incredible bonus that I got when I became vegan is that excess energy, that amazing stamina that I got, aside from my hair getting better, skin getting better. It's incredible when we eat vegan options, even when we're not doing it so right, we're still healing inside out. And that beautiful stamina, that energy that we have, we can use it towards the walking and healing our body and of course, taking the time clock back. So I'm so impressed with all the panels here. I'm so impressed with each and every one of you. And thank you for being such motivators, leaders, and warriors, speaking out about the truth. Your voices are not only appreciated, but treasured. We appreciate you all. Including you, of course, Jane, obviously.
Oh. Thank you, Annie. We love you. And we and I know you're about to head out the door to do some heavy duty exercising right now. We've got one more caller, Michael in Los Angeles. Your thought or question.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Great show. I just wanted to say that, I'm a big junk food eater, and I don't always eat the healthiest, but just by being vegan, plant-based, by default, I feel a lot better, even if I maybe overindulge in some of the, high carbohydrate, sweet foods. And because when you eat meat, that's what really slows you down. It makes you sluggish and low energy. And anyway, I just wanted to say that even if you eat, tend to eat, like I say, some of the more comfort foods, the processed junk foods, and I try not to eat a lot of it. But when I do, I still feel much better than when I used to eat, turkey and, a lot of meat back in the day. Then I would feel horrible the next day. And right now, just by default, by being vegan, you're going to be able to feel better no matter what you eat, I think,
Wow. Thank you, Michael. It's a very good observation. And I want to get back now to Cherie's daily workout. Tell us.
Well, I start early in the morning training clients. So I'm up at 4:45 every morning.
No way.
Yeah. So the first thing I do in the morning, first thing I consume, of course, is water. That's the first thing I like to put in my body before I do anything. I do have a cup of coffee because I do have a busy schedule early morning. But in between time, I go out and I put in my just 30 minutes. This is something that I really believe in, getting people to move and get started, because really you don't need 2 hours in the gym to see results. If you can put in 30 minutes and get your heart rate up, get your heart pumping and sweating, and you can do amazing workouts. So generally I do like maybe 3 to 4 days of strength training. I do love weights. My cardio would be jump roping. I love jump roping, and I think it's really good, especially as you get older, just to get a little more what's the word? I think gives me more over body workout with jump roping. And it's something that I used to do as a child. And most people believe when they get older, they can't do that. If you do have hip issues and things like that, of course you wouldn't do that. I like to cycle and I like to walk on the beach with my husband. We do sometimes 3 miles on the beach. And I've also been doing swimming. So that's something I used to do when I was younger. And so I went back and got a coach to help me swim better and longer. And let me tell you, it is super, super challenging. Now, as far as eating, I usually make a protein drink in between my clients. I may have fruit. For lunch, I may have a salad with some type of daring chicken. I love that, the alternative chicken. I love putting that on my salad or some grilled tofu. I try to eat a lot of grains and a lot of vegetables throughout the day. So that's basically how I feed myself.
Wow. Okay. And when you mentioned the daring chicken, that is plant-based chicken.
It is.
And now they've done taste tests. It's impossible for people to tell the difference between
It's amazing.
and an animal product. So yes, daring.
Chicken, yes.
Now I want to throw in something that I'm doing that happened accidentally as a result of the pandemic. When I didn't want to go into stores, I started ordering Farm Fresh to You, which is one of many. You can do the one that sells the dented fruits and vegetables, which I see going around here. But delivery of vegetables, what I found was when they're in my kitchen, I start using them. That's why I burned the Brussels sprouts, the edamame today. But that has helped me eat healthier because it's there, it shows up, I pick them out. So I just want to throw it out there. And, you might think, well, that's very expensive. I think it actually saves me money because I don't know about you, but I rarely go into a supermarket and just get exactly what I'm there for. Okay. I always see, that really exotic cocoa from, God only knows where, like I end up buying these things that then I go, why did I do that? So actually it saved me money because I go to the supermarket less frequently because I have these veggies and fruits delivered. And that has been a really good thing for me. And I'm going to keep it going. So it's just something to throw out there. And also, they have the companies with the dented fruit, because we throw out 40% of our food in this country while people are starving on the other side of the world. And some of it's just because it's dented or doesn't look pretty. So, what are your thoughts now as we, kind of wrap up? We've got a few minutes. People need some inspiration and they need to have action points. So Dr. Shabnam Islam, and then we're going to go to Beth. What's your advice for somebody like me? Now, mind you, I used to be a long distance runner. I used to run I used to run 18 miles and I ran one marathon. And then my knees one day said, nope, you're not doing that anymore. So what are your advice for folks who need to get reactivated in terms of exercise?
I think partnerships are great. Finding a buddy system. Listen, not everybody can afford a personal trainer, but everybody's got a friend. And treating it like a meeting. If your job is that important to you, you cannot miss that meeting. It is life and death for you. It should be the same way with exercise. Absolutely. And so finding a friend in which that you can set up a time, say 5:30 after work, go for a 30-minute walk, go do the Santa Monica stairs, go do something that you enjoy, do a Peloton class together, do some yoga fit with Beth Shaw, get on YouTube, do a class together. All of it has an impact, but the research shows we tend to stay consistent with behavior change if we have a support structure. And so I think the easiest way is to find someone that's going to hold you accountable to hitting those mandates each week.
I like it. I think that's very good. I have a group of friends that I walk with, and that does help me get out the door. Just yesterday, I was sitting on that couch being a couch potato, and they were like, we're walking towards you. I was like, okay, I'll get out there. It's true. Beth Shaw, what is your suggestion for people who want to get it together? 2023 is approaching. They want to be their best self.
Well, I'm going to ask them to reframe and just remember that anytime you're exercising, you're practicing yoga, you're meditating, you're giving yourself a gift. And we have to gift ourselves first before we can gift to others. these amazing bodies that we have, we can avoid 80% of all adult disease because it is self-created by diet and lifestyle choices. So our bodies become the sum of our choices. So just reevaluate your priorities and make the appropriate choices and put yourself first to give to yourself with the gift of health.
Beth, if people want to get involved in yoga through your program, how do they do that?
They can go to yogafit.com. We've got a great conference coming up in the beginning of the year in Palm Springs from January 4th to the 8th. We've got a lot of online virtual trainings and live trainings, and they can save 15% at checkout by using the code VOICE22 at yogafit.com. If you want to find me personally, you can go to bethshaw.com or on Instagram, Beth Shaw Health.
Wonderful. And let me ask also, Dr. Shabnam, the same question. You tell us all that you do, because I can't keep up, frankly. I'm trying to write wait, there's too much going. How does this woman do it all?
Listen, that's life. It's the constant hustle until, 14 years into being an overnight success. And I'm still working on it, right? I wake up in the morning just like Sherry. I'm a strength and conditioning professional, a personal trainer, a clinical exercise physiologist. So I work with a gambit of clients, from those that actually have heart disease, massive issues, or you're just your regular mom and pop. And then I take care of my dogs. And then I teach at CSUN, Cal State University. I'm a professor of kinesiology, pretty much my entire day. And then I try and finish my dissertation writing at night, and I don't have time. I'm just like everybody else. I don't have time, but I don't have time to be sick either.
That's right up there with Beth Shaw on her head for 20 minutes a day. Your dissertation?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at the impacts. Does engaging in a student-led service learning program, because I've created a program called Commit to Be Fit, which is a free kinesiology fitness program for the CSUN community. Anybody can join in person and they can join online, but we show that by providing free access to services, we are really impacting the obesity epidemic. And that's our goal. We want to give students the ability to practice their skill set, because they're going to be the future professionals in the world. And we want them to do something that's going to impact the communities around them. And so my dissertation is really discovering, do students that engage in this kind of service learning project, do they have increased academic retention, and are they prepared for the future? Because when you go to college, you want these things to happen. Is this helping me with my career? And am I learning what I need to learn? So it's a lot of data. It's a lot of stuff.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm starting to get it complex, people. Okay.
Me too. I got one too. Oh my gosh. These women, Beth and Dr. Shabnam, you guys are just amazing. I'm blown away, and I'm on the panel. I'm just blown away. Just blown away. It's like, okay, I got to do this. I have to stand on my head for 20 minutes. I'm gonna buy an apparatus so I can stand on my head, because I got to get that. That's a challenge for me. I love it.
But you're doing a lot. You're not only a trainer, but you are also the entrepreneur of this incredible brand, which I urge everybody to check out, W29 Activewear. How do they check that out?
Well, you can go to my website. You can go to my website, W29 Activewear. We are in rebranding right now. So, it hasn't been updated, but the product will be ready in January. So everything will be able for you to purchase, to check it out. I also do, like you said, Jane, plant-based in the burbs, which has been just amazing for me. We've been doing it 2 years with Paige is my girl, Paige Parson Roach. And we have learned so much from doing this show on how to change our cooking style for plant-based and vegan. Like now Paige is doing raw. So now we're adding a lot more raw recipes into our show, which has been really amazing. And it's very informative, because we're learning as we do it, which is really great. I really enjoy that. We also do a show, Paige and I do a Tuesday Instagram live called Let's Chat. And we bring people onto our Instagram live, and we want to know about their vegan story, what they're up to. And that has been doing very well too. And so this has really been just an amazing ride. Like 2023, I'm looking at, my brand doing really amazing, getting people to wear it and looking good and feeling good, and then increasing the just 30-minute brand, just getting people motivated to know that it doesn't matter what you do as long as you're moving your body. And that's the goal. Just like what Doctor said about the kids in school, the students, being active will probably help really a lot. I'm sure your data is probably going to show that they're going to have a better retention. They're more committed because now they're being consistent and they're making that plan and staying consistent with their workout, that they can stay consistent with school. And really, that's what it's about, staying consistent for yourself, because you lead by example in everything that you do, and don't think that no one's watching you, because people are watching you. And so you want to make sure you put your best foot forward and your best body forward.
Well, I think that you ladies have inspired me so much, because I will say that I have improved on by the way, speaking of exercise, don't forget the blender dance, okay? Which I have to personally take credit for.
You do.
Our show, New Day, New Chef, which was Unchained TV's vegan cooking show, which is on Unchained TV. It's also on Amazon Prime, and very successful show. And we had a need for a blender. A lot of plant-based cooking involves a blender. And we were like, well, what do we do when the blender noise is on? And then I just said, let's dance. And it took off. Those blender dances, honestly, I'm very proud. I'm very, very proud to have inspired so many blender dances. And there's a blender dance 30 minutes a day. But the truth is, I have, thanks to bringing in the vegetables, been cooking at home, making kale salad, which you got to massage the kale. If you don't like the kale, massage it, take out the stems. And somebody else informed me the other day when I was serving lunch and I had this giant kale stem. She said, you've got to chop up the kale, Jane. So now I take a little kitchen scissor and I chop up the kale. You wouldn't believe what an improvement that is. And so I've done better on that part. I will say that. But I've not been really scoring high on the exercise front. So you women have inspired me entirely. Absolutely.
Scissors.
Huh?
Scissors.
Yeah, scissors. So, okay, we have exactly 30 seconds each for each of you. Your final thoughts, not that you're going anywhere, still be with us, but what are your final thoughts for those watching? Beth. Actually, we'll come back to you because you are this.
Remember, your health is your most valuable asset always.
Yes, that was very good. Very good. Yes. Shabnam.
Eat well, move well, and just be consistent.
I love it. Cherie.
Just put in 30 minutes a day to start it and create a habit. Move your body 30 minutes a day.
I love it. And, I do want to say what you said, Beth, is absolutely true. We underestimate the importance of our health. When we don't feel well, it doesn't matter how much money you have, what car you drive, what your stock portfolio looks like. None of it matters if we don't have our health. And so this is such an important conversation. I want to thank all of you. You are all my heroes. I look up to every single one of you. You've inspired me personally. I know you've inspired Tom to go out and march through the streets of Chicago today. Be careful, Tom. And, thanks for joining us. And please, everybody, check out Unchained TV, your free TV. You can download it and get started on a whole new way of life. See you next time. Bye-bye. There we go.